G'day legends, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to give you our top 5 essential items for travelling around Australia. So we are strong believers that you can do this in whatever means suits you best, whether it's a 40-foot converted bus like we've met some people, motorhome, caravan, camper trailer, rooftop tent. We even met a young girl going up to Cape York who was travelling in a little all-wheel drive car. She was sleeping in a hammock, cooking on a little single gas cooker and had all her food in an esky. So you can do this in whichever way suits you. We opted for the caravan. But these 5 things we think will work regardless of your setup, and that's what we think are essential for doing the lap of Australia or living on the road like we are. So number 1, the hat. We all know the Australian sun is brutal. If you don't know that, you should, because it will cook you. So a lot of people opt for like the brand of Kublus. I personally run the brand Barmer. It's genuine cattle leather made in Australia, and the idea behind this is it's squashy. So you can shove it in your bag, shove it on the dash, wherever, and it takes its shape again and put it back in your hat. I've had this hat for years. This is number 2 for me in 15, 16 years. I think I've taken it to Europe with me. I've taken it hiking through Utah in the USA. Love my hat. Not to say I don't like the Kublus, I just haven't found one that suits me personally. So yeah, I run the Barmer, but regardless of what you choose, a good hat is a must, and it became number 1 on our top 5. Number 2 is a good mat. So regardless of your setup, we reckon a good clean space outside is a must. Whether it's a sea gear mat, which we do have, we run 2 different types of mat. The sea gear mat is brilliant for sand, say like for all the beach camping we did through South Australia, or the red centre, where it's just that fine red sand. So the sea gear mat allows all that to fall straight through and just gives you a nice big clean area. Recently though, we've also got a recycle mat. That's this one here. So for when we want to do a smaller setup, like we're only stopped overnight here, this is easy to get to in the tunnel boot. You can just sort of flick it out, throw a couple of chairs on it, gives you a nice little clean area. And I can fold it away by myself with a sea gear. It's better if there's 2 of us to pack that away. This is also great for caravan parks when we've got like a concrete pad. It gives us somewhere a little bit softer than the concrete pad for Liam to play with his toys and stuff outside. So yeah, we are really loving this. We've had it for a few weeks now and do rate it. It's working pretty well. Kind of wish we got a little bit earlier, but the sea gear proved its worth for the 13 months that we've been on the road. So a good mat, regardless of your choice. There's some really great ones out there, recycled mats. Like I said, the sea gear, mats by design, there's heaps. So have a look around, find a design that you like. A good mat is a must. Number 3, a chair. So you're going to spend a lot of time outside. Why else will you do a big lap of Australia if you don't want to see it? So a good chair is a must, and I am a sucker for a chair. Like, I have sat in probably every chair you can think of in BCF, Anaconda, smaller camping stores in those country towns, all the Oz Trail stuff, and for the last few years I've been running a Wanderer branded chair from BCF, one of those ones that collapsed up. I did love it. It was perfect for camping trips on the weekend, folded up quite nicely. You could sit around the campfire comfortably for hours, but the only downside was you couldn't sit at like a table, or you couldn't comfortably sit in these on your lap. So after a year of travel, we decided to treat ourselves. So I again went through all the stores looking for a new chair, and that's where we came across these. So they're the June 4-wheel drive ones. You get them from Anaconda. I think June is Anaconda. I sat in these. I found them really comfortable, and I call them like a stargazer because they're not a full recliner, but they do recline. So yeah, I call that a stargazer. But another feature that I really love, and this was the selling point for me, is we have these lifetime tables that you can get from Bunnings, BCF, Anaconda. They all sell them. This was the selling point for me. You can actually sit at a table. You can sit, you can eat, you're supported the whole time. To find a chair that actually allowed me to sit and eat at one of these tables was proving quite difficult. So once I found them in Anaconda and propped them up against one of those tables, sold. And they were on special as well, which was really handy. So yeah, regardless of your choice, like if you're a weekender, one of those ones that fold up and pack a little bit easier to pack away are probably brilliant. For us, travelling full time, we've got a caravan for space. They travel on the bed. we opted for the bigger, bulkier type of chair, and we've had these for a few weeks now and are loving them. But again, it's up to you what space you've got, what you find comfortable. Some people don't like the rigidness, some people like to lounge when they're out camping. Like I said, I love that Wanderer one. It supported my legs well without bunching in around the knees like some do. So anyway, these are what are working for us at the moment. We are loving them. So yeah, let's move on. Number 4 for me is an air compressor. So even if you think you're going to stay on the bitumen the whole way around Australia, you're guaranteed to get some dirt. And I think the best thing you can do for your car, your van, trailer, whatever, is to let your tyres down when you hit the dirt. Whether it's say 20% of whatever your tyre pressure you run at is probably a good starting point the moment you hit the dirt. My rule of thumb was always just 10 pound when I was in the car, but since we've started towing, the moment I hit the dirt, I drop 20 pound in all my tyres, and it just takes away a lot of that harshness on the ride when you're on the dirt. Whether that's roadworks or you end up on a development road somewhere, like throughout that Queensland, I don't necessarily say on Apple Maps or Google Maps whether it's a sealed or unsealed road. So if you can do it, drop your tyres down and then you carry your own compressor. It means you can stop when you're ready, pump them back up again, or just even a little bit more, just put that little bit more air in there until you get to the next servo where you can pump them up properly. Or if you're towing a big van, sometimes it's kind of hard to get into those servos to pump up your tyres. There's not a lot of room to move around, especially if you're in a town. So having your own air compressor, I think, is a must. And for sort of safety's sake as well, if you've got a slow leak, you can at least limp yourself to the nearest town by stopping every, say, 50 k's, pumping that tyre back up again. Or I've even put a tyre on a rim when we've rolled one off out on the sand dunes. I've put the tyre back on the rim because we have that compressor handy. So for me, I think an air compressor is a must-have, whether you've got one on board, like some of the ARB ones fit in the 200 series back panels really nicely. I carry a portable one. I'll put a little clip in here. It's still from ARB. I think ARB is the best one I've had. I've had Megig ones and stuff, but the ARB high output one has proven itself for me. I can pump up all 8 tyres in a matter of 10-15 minutes. So yeah, air compressor I think is a must. And number 5 is a phone holder in the car for us. So because I'm running a slightly older car, it's 15 years old, I don't have the flash navigation system built into the car. So once we left WA and it was all unfamiliar territory for me, we started running with Apple Maps or Google Maps, sort of changes quite regularly, up on the dash for me, because Clem, being my co-driver / navigator, is usually preoccupied with Liam in the back seat, so she can't give me directions as well. So I've got it up on the dash. I'll take you around and show you where I've put it, so I can see the maps, hear the maps all right in front of me, but they don't restrict my view. So I think a good phone holder is a must. I run the quad lock. I used to have a motorbike and I ran the quad lock on the motorbike, so I already had the case for the phone, so it made sense for me to get the one for the car. It hasn't budged. We've done the Nadada track, we've done Cape York, we took the van all the way to the top of Cape York and back. My phone never budged off of that holder. So for me, it's proven its worth. I do want to upgrade. You can get an inductive charging version of it. For me, I still have to plug in a cable. Alright, in the front of the car. So I've put the quad lock mount up in this top corner, hugging that A-pillar. It's the best spot I could find that I could see it, but it doesn't restrict my view. It takes like a slither out of this corner of my vision out of the windscreen, but the most of it's actually covered by the bonnet, so I don't lose a lot of vision here. The way these work is you put them on like that and then you rotate them and lock them in place. So I've got it sitting there like that. It's pretty sturdy, and then I can run the maps just sitting there. For me, that's about the vision I lose. So that's my head height there. You can see our safety Dave sits there, not obstructed by the bonnet, and then I've just got this little corner here. So I think that's a must. That's why it's made number 5, because I would be lost without that. The amount of times I've asked Clem for directions, she's been distracted by our toddler. I've just got it there. I can rely on myself. I can see what's coming up. I'm not relying on Siri yelling at me. Yeah. So that's number 5. Alright, that's it. That's our 5 essential items for living on the road or travelling around Australia. It's probably not what you were expecting. A few of these things may have been what you expected. I didn't want it to be a brand grab. We're not endorsed or anything by any of these brands. These are what we have found and used over our 12, now 13 months on the road, and we swear by the products that we have chosen. If we didn't like them, we would have got rid of them by now. So these are what we are loving. So I hope you get something out of this. Obviously there's going to be different items that you might think are unnecessary. Some people swear by a coffee machine. They think that's a necessary item to have on the road. Clem and I are not that fancy. We run instant coffee. So we tried to keep it generic, tried to think of everyone's situation. We think they are the top 5 essential items for travelling Australia. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.